Hey everybody, today we have a BenQ HT1075 to look at. There's the specs on the side, 1080p, made in 2015, November, made in China, from the BenQ Corporation in Taiwan. So this particular projector was sent in by somebody who actually contacted me, July of 2019, actually. So it's been a little while. And it actually arrived today. If I remember correctly in my emails, if they're correct, it was overheating. So I'm curious if it's similar to the other 1075 I worked on that had that warped fan. They shipped it in the original box, which was nice. So let's see. Alright. They sent the power cord, which we don't need. I'm gonna put that right back in the box once I slide this out. Oh, that's the bag for the remote. Here's the paperwork. Seems that these were made in 2012. Just want to get that foam off. Then let's get that back in the bag. And there's the projector, which you guys can't quite see yet. So there's the projector. The customer said that they plug it in and they run it. It'll run for a few minutes and then it'll overheat. So let's see if that's what happens. Got our standby. Let's cover off. We'll fire it up and just see what it sounds like. That didn't sound good. We do have a picture though. See, we do have... Oh, that doesn't sound good. Wow, the keystone is way off. Let me just go to reset all settings. I don't know if you guys can see that. Keystone is way off. Let's see, test pattern. So that's pointed straight at the wall. That gets it kind of straight. There's something in there. Let's shut it down. I hear something getting kicked around. Let's turn this off. There it is. Turn it off. I just want to wait for that to stop flashing and then we can start opening it up. Alright, that went in a standby. Unplug the power. Let's pop the lamp out first and see how that looks. I don't think we're looking at much of a lamp problem. The lamp should be fairly new, unless the guy ran it into the ground with it overheating. Let's get that screw out. Drain those capacitors. There we go. Then the little air vent shield doesn't look very dusty. Ooh. See that? That's the air intake. Now the lamp looks alright though. The sticker's still there. That sticker didn't warp and fall off. If these get hot, that sticker can fall off. And it didn't. So that's good. This fan, I'm suspicious. Yeah, it feels good. So we're probably going to be looking at that fan. I can't really, I can see it, but I can't. Let's get her open. Let's see. So we take the top one out. It's the short screw. I'll flip her over and two, three, four, five. Then these guys. And then these. I'm just going to preemptively remove this panel because I'm probably going to have to get down to get that fan out if that fan's the problem. I also want to see why that keystone was so far off. And that was crazy crooked, and then I heard something bouncing around inside there. I'm wondering if there's a piece of glass in that fan, maybe from an old lamp that exploded. So let's see, we'll get the top coming off. Come on. There we are. These tops just come off so nice if you get them started right. Yeah, this is not very dirty where he cleaned it before it came in, but I don't think so because that fan still has dust on it. Let me see what those blades feel like. Yeah, it's a little dustier actually than I thought. But the leading edge of these blades is what I'm curious about. That's what went wrong in that other one. They don't feel too bad. The blower fan down in there is what I'm suspicious of. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody else was in here. It's like on the first one. That's good. It means if anything goes wrong, it's my fault. Trying to see if there was anything that would make that keystone so weird. Maybe that's adjustment, lens adjustment. Now let's pop this out. Alright, so I'm going to leave most of these connectors in because I want to just flip the main board up and over. Except for that one I want out. Yeah, just like that. All of these are going to need cleaning, these fans, but they're really not too bad so far. I haven't seen the inside of that yet. This is really what I'm curious about. Let's get these wires out. Color wheel cable. That out. And the sensor out. There we are. This is what we're going for, is this fan. So let's see, we have a screw here. And then one right here. Oh. Come on. Ah, it's underneath. Now there's a wire coming off that thermal fuse which plugs into the main board. That wire has to be unplugged, and don't forget to plug that back in. That's a super easy to forget wire. And the whole thing should come out, and there we go. See that? That's a problem. It's definitely not moving enough air. It spins. So what'll happen is it's spinning. Oh. Kind of. Listen. Aha. Ready? There we go. That was what we heard flipping around. So they had a lamp explode. That's the actual piece of an arc tube. For some reason, here's the lamp. This is how everything lines up. Like this. Here, wait, let's do it that way so you can really see it. So it lines up like that. So when the bulbs explode, they can throw glass right into that fan. It's kind of funny. It's like made to catch the glass, which is good and bad. Let's get that out. This was the problem, without a doubt. If I can get it to focus so you guys can see it. Come on. There it is. So that piece of glass, that caused all that. So we'll save that for him. Now, this has to be cleaned. And then I might as well just give these all a quick blast of air with low pressure, high volume air. And then I'll look at the keystone on this. That was just weird. Let's see if that... Seems alright. DMD looks straight too, so we'll deal with that. Alright, I'm gonna go clean these fans. I'll be right back. I hit it with air, and it didn't really work that much. The dust seems to be pretty well impacted on those fans. So we're gonna take the fan off. And we will we're going to do a manual cleaning on it. Just have to remember to keep it in frame. So let me stand here. Now I'm directly behind the screen. Now if you're replacing one of these fans, this is kind of how you would do that. You take those two screws out, get that wire out from under that thing, and then just kind of wobble it. It'll pop out and leave that front shroud in place. If you end up taking this screw out, this will kind of pop apart and this thing falls out. Not a big deal, but just, you know, be aware. So now we need to get the fan apart. Oh, come on, focus. There we are. So we just start by just flexing the plastic to get those clips loose. And then once you have two of them, third one pops off. Now some of these pull off like this. Not all of them. Some do. You can see there's the motor. Come on, focus. So that's a 2-pole motor. And there's the Hall effect sensor down there. Tells it the position. Runs the status, fan status wire. That little chip down there. So the reason I wanted to take the fan out is I wanted to check the blades. I thought there might be some damage, and it looks like there might be. Come on. See these guys? They're broken. That's probably where the glass was stuck. Now, if I were going to reuse this fan, we're going to take a Q-tip. We're going to do this. Now, I'm actually not going to be reusing this fan. It would probably spin fine with those two pieces missing on the bottom, but I'm worried about balance because these spin pretty quick. And if the balance is off too much, it'll just start to rip the bearings apart. I mean, there's not even really bearings, it's just, you know, I think it's really a bushing more than a bearing. There's no rotating elements as far as I know. It's just a the shaft sitting in there. So in a pinch, what you could do if you had to get up and running, again, it's not ideal, but you could do it, is go straight across. Let's see if we can. These two. See, now it should be even. They're broken directly across from each other, so that would be balanced. So that would actually work. And it'd be nice and in balance. It'd probably move plenty of air. Most of the air is being moved by the outer thing here. In fact, I think almost all of it's being moved by that. But we're not going to take that chance. I'll save this for a test fan. Because it'll still spin. So I'm just going to write for test. Can't write very well. Alright. Because I have another right there. Although this may... Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. I don't have another. I thought this was a compatible fan until I notice it's open. See, that's not gonna... It's not gonna fit in there. Let me go see what I got. I might have to order one. Okay, we're gonna try something, actually. So I was looking in my parts piles, and I didn't have the exact fan. I had this fan, which is a little taller, but the rotor inside is almost the same. It just doesn't have that stuff on the bottom. I'm kind of curious. Fits in there nice. Feels good. Let me see how this fits with the cover on. Huh. Maybe. Let me power this up and see how it works. Alright, so I'm gonna think about using this one, but I'm not really all that excited about it. Instead, I'm gonna look at how I can use this one. See, that might work. What I'm hoping is that we can, you know, essentially remake this. Now, this is another one. This is not the one we're going to use. I just need one of the pins from it. There we go. There we go. That's good. Actually, that pin, let's see if that makes it grab a little better. Yeah, it's a little tighter now. All right. So this is the original. Actually, let me mark these so I don't get them mixed up. No. So I'm hoping that this bracket will be the same size because the shroud from this original housing is a little different on the end, so it won't line up straight. But this is looking pretty good so far. If I can just get so this one's a little narrower. Yep. Oh, that's a shame. Oh well, it was worth a shot. Let's see how my retrofitted fan was using that rotor out of the other fan. I mean, I'm glad folks want to fix these, although I do wish they were okay with spending a little more money on parts, because it would behoove them to spend a little bit of money, because it is a nice projector. There we are. Got that back in there. Let's get this screw. And there we go. Oh, let me get my little 12-volt supply I brought out so you can try this and make sure it spins okay. So now, let's put this back in. We're going to try it with the quote-unquote modified fan. Remember, I took this out and doesn't have, the fan I put in does not have that second short row. I'm gonna order a fan because it's the right thing to do, but for testing's sake, and you know, maybe somebody gets in a jam and this is all they can do, you know, it'd be nice to see if it works. So I'm going to set this back in. We're going to plug this wire in first. First thing, so that I don't forget it. This one. Oops. And again, I know I repeat this every video, but I'm going to anyway. When you start a screw into plastic threads, make sure you rotate backwards. Right there. So that the edge of the threads mesh together and you don't cut any threads. There we are. That's in all the way. I'm actually going to just go hit this whole thing with air real quick. There we go. It wasn't too bad. Just needed a little bit. Let's get that wire back out of the way. Tuck that out of the way. I'm going to watch out for that. Make sure it sneaks up through there correctly. Watch that ballast wire. That can definitely get in the way. Alright, that's down, that's down. Now, the short screws, these screws are the shorter of the plastic threads. They're what hold this in. Remember, there's 3. And again, feel for the edge of the thread. That's all in. Put that wire over there so we can swing the main board back in. Remember, we need to line up a few things. Actually, we're going to unplug the ballast. Now, for putting the main board back in, there's a couple things we need to line up. There's those tabs coming up right here, which should help us also line up the power supply connector on the left. That power supply connector under here, it's really easy to offset it, you know, by 1 pin. Let me get my flashlight here so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. See, that's a pen, that's a thumb drive. There we go. Right there. You can kind of see the pin little gold thing right there, that's lined up properly. So you can just push that down. Just like that. Then we'll start setting our wires back in place. Tuck our exhaust fan wire in there. This goes on after the metal bracket. We have our DMD fan there, and then our blower fan with the different set of blades in it. I'm curious if that's going to work. I don't mind doing these all on the cheap for people, you know, if that's what they need, but I also really appreciate it when people are happy with spending the proper money to fix it right. You know, I mean, it's a 6-year-old projector, I get that. But I am going to give them a price with as is, with my little mod, and then also with putting the proper fan in. I don't think putting the proper fan in is going to raise the price that much. So I'm kind of thinking he'll go for it, but we'll see. And the process is the same. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily make a follow-up video while I put that in, because it's, you know, same thing I just did here, but we'll see. Let's see here, let's get our screws, and come here, you. I put the wrong screw here. I always do that. I always think there's supposed to be a star washer here, and there's not. Like, I feel like there should be. And it's just this little guy, this non-star washer guy. These two. I'm going to put these two in, and this one, and then that's enough where we can pop the lamp in and try it. Plug that speaker in. Let's see. That and that. Okay, that's everything held down. I'm going to put one of these just in here so that the board doesn't flex up in the back. Alright, so I got the temporary screws in, I have the lamp installed, put my little switch bypass tool in there. And let's get the power cord. Looks good. All right, all the fans are on. You guys can see the picture. Man, that keystone is still way off. Oh, and that fan sounds awful. I'm sure you can hear that. Let's see if I can play with that keystone in the meantime. Man. Let's see here. Yeah, it was all off. There we are. And you guys can't see that. Okay, so I fixed the keystone. The setting was off. Yeah, we'll do an auto search. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's the blower fan. That won't work. So we're going to have to get a new blower fan for it, and that's fine. That's no problem. I definitely expected it. Could try popping this back in and see what happens. Maybe for S's and giggles we'll give that a shot, but I'm going to actually pause it. Well, I'm actually going to turn it off. Turning off, please wait. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to tear it down. We're going to pull that fan out, and I'm going to go order one. And then when I start the video back up, we'll try it with this rotor in place and see how it is. So you can see that fan's spinning pretty well. And we're going to check and see what the RPMs are, because if you notice, there's a little tab right there. That's a piece of a resistor. There's a 10K resistor going from the status wire to VCC. And then we're going to clip our scope onto the ground. Just going to set that down. Let's see what we get on the tab. Here we are. Getting 100 hertz at 12 volts. So this fan's actually pretty stable and it's nice and quiet. So I am still going to continue with replacing the fan now that we know that this is good. Oh, and I'll put a link in the description with a little schematic on how to make your own. You can cobble it together however you want. Like, this is literally just a connector I took off a main board and soldered some wires onto from an old 12 volt 800 milliamp DC adapter. Here's the whole, this is the whole thing. It's just that with this you could, you know, put a switch and other stuff on it if you want to do it fancy, but for spot tests it works really good. So check that description for the schematic if you want to make your own little, you know, fan test fixture, or take the design and, you know, make it really nice if you want. But this will at least give you the basics and where you can start from. So now we're gonna pause it and let's get this fan back in. So again, this is a, come on, BUB 0512L fan. And then remember that wire wraps around. Does it go like that? No, because I can see the mark. It was like that. There we go. Yeah, so it kind of goes in front of the screw in like that. And I got most of the dust out using the cotton swab and just kind of, you know, you just do that, knock it all loose, and then a little bit of air knocks it out. Come on. All right, that's in. That's in. Long screws. Yeah. I'm going to show you the differences. The screws that hold that metal shield in versus the screws that hold the fan in. See, just like maybe a 1 thread longer. And then we'll put this last one in just to hold this temporarily. And drop our lamp in. Get our power cord. All right, let's plug that in. Oh, let's put this in. I hope I recorded that all properly. All right, so I have that in, a little bypass tool, and we have power. Let's see, it went into standby. Bring it back a little. All right, so I set just a piece of foam behind there so that we can see it from this angle. Let's see what happens. All right, lamp ignited, fans came on. I hear the fans evening out now. do have a picture. There we are. Oh, you guys can't quite see that. There we are. There's our white one. That's pretty good. What else do we got? No. Test pattern 1. Oh, I guess it's literally just that. I think they had a white screen too. Yeah, alright. Well, that's pretty good. The fan's pretty quiet too. I think what I'm going to do now is set the top on. No, I'm going to shut it down first. We're going to set the top on, and then I'll run it with the top on and see how it does with this fan. And then I'll let the customer know if they want to leave the old fan in with my modification, my mod, or if we'll put the new fan in. Probably going to put the new fan in. That's what I'm going to recommend. But it's not my projector, so it's not my call. So I'm going to probably call this the end of part 1. Yeah, this is going to be the end of part 1. If I do a part 2, it'll be when the new fan comes in, and then we'll go through putting that fan in, and we'll maybe go into the service menu maybe if we need to. I don't think we really need to. Just trying to think if it's worth doing a second video or not. Because really, you saw me put the fan in. It's the same steps. It would just be a new fan. So, I'll tell you what. How about this? I'm going to publish this video as it sits now. And with the projector back together, of course. We'll finish reassembling it. And then you guys let me know in the comments if you want me to do a part 2 where I actually switch the fan out. It'll probably be a week or 2 before I can get that fan in. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm just waiting for the fans to cut off now, so I'm kind of vamping until it does, so that I can pull the cord out. Alright, so the fan turned off. Let's pop this guy out. Just didn't want the back of that board to come up. Just going to set the lens cap on so it doesn't get caught underneath. One thing I noticed is that the that foot's wobbly, but that's normal. Like it's pushed up all the way. Oh no, it wasn't. It was one click down. Now it's pushed up all the way. So we need to unplug the speaker because that route's on top of the shield. So let's bring the shield in. That clips over the front, as does that. It clips over the side. And then we put the star washer screws in. 1, 2, yeah, those are going to twist. I was just trying to make it look nicer. Of course, these are just shields to keep RF noise out. And we put that through there, and then that plugs in. Come on. Why not? There we go. And that plugs in there. That's good. That's good. Any more screws for in here? I don't believe so. Our next step is to reinstall this back panel. Yeah, a little dusty, not too bad. Alright, there we go. Oh, okay. Oh, that's normal. All right. The screw for the component input, there's no sticker going over. I thought I ripped the sticker, but I didn't. There's just no sticker over that spot. And then HDMI. If somebody was in here before me, which they might have been, they did a very good job because it didn't look like it. But I will say the positions of the screws is a little questionable. Good. That's good. Good. See, this side keeps lifting up and it's bugging me. I keep thinking I'm not setting that back in right. That's what makes me think somebody was in here. This should be snapped in. There's little... actually, there's not on this one. Oh, wait, yes, there is in the middle. It's gone. So somebody was probably in here trying to clean it. They put it back together very nicely, though, so I'll give them credit for that. Then we have the D connectors, D15 and that DB9, DB15. There we go. In, and we just have our screws for the top. That's good. And then the short one, the short screw instead of the long screw, this goes in the top. That's good. Let's put this on. Air flowing to where we want it. Then we'll put the lamp door on. Then we'll put all those screws in the bottom. Dang it, come on, stay down. There we go. Alright, I put that foam underneath because I don't want to scratch the top. A little bit of, I don't know, that glass and stuff landed down here, and I see like like that and that. I just don't want to scratch it. Last one. All right. There it is. She's ready to go. Let's fire it up one more time before I take it over to the test area. Let's just make sure I didn't forget any wires or anything while I was putting it back together. That looks good. I don't think I'll be able to focus it this close, but hey, I can. The world's smallest projector screen. Alright, that looks good. I have to look. I was trying to get into the menu. No. Oh well, I'll have to look that up. But it's obviously working. Got everything plugged back in right. No fan errors or anything like that. So I'm going to let it cool down here, bring it back to the other side, and we will set it up. Come on. What's that say? No signal. Ooh, it's dirty. Oh, look at that. I didn't even notice that. Let's see if we can focus those little dust blobs. See? See if I can focus in on those dust blobs. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Like, there it is, right there. So, yeah, I'm just going to get a new fan for this. I'm not even going to pretend that the old fan is going to work, because I need to clean the inside of that DMD. So I'm going to go get that fan ordered up, open this back up, and then that will be part 2. So if you have any questions up to this point about this projector, go ahead and stick it in the comments. Again, this is a BenQ HT1075. It's same as the W1080, W1070, and a pile of others that essentially look like this one. Just different lenses and stuff, and a few other things, but you know what I mean. They all use that same lamp at least. So leave your comments, questions, etc. below, and stay tuned for part 2, which I will also link in the description. I'll also put the part number for the fan and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned for the next part, and thank you for watching. Alright, so I have the new fan. Let's get the fan bracket, which normally goes, make sure I'm holding this right. Yeah, goes there. So that means we need to set the fan in and go in on an angle just to kind of get that underneath the that side bracket, that shroud. Then we're going to put the screws in that hold it. There we go. There's one. Two. Then we need to route our wire up and put it underneath. Then we'll set this back down in here. And you can hold that in place so you guys can see the screw holes. Those screw holes are where these go. I'm gonna do these by hand. Let's do these, yeah. There we are. One. And then all right. Then we're going to put the optical assembly back in. Hold that wire out of the way. This is the speaker and IR. Now let's put those screws in. Now those are the longer coarse thread screws, as opposed to let's see, actually they're the same length as the case screws. All right, now there are some shorter ones. Oops, I'll show you. You can see this one's shorter. This is for the top that actually goes in here, goes in there. This one. Heck, oh. There we are. Right there. There we go. There we are. Let's see. That's in, that's good. So now we can put this metal frame back in, the support. But first we'll make sure we plug this back in. That goes here. There we go. That's in, that's in. Tuck that over here, I'll tuck that there. I just need to make sure we have clearance for all this. That's plugged in. Let's check. That looks good. All right. The wire's caught underneath. Oh, almost. Got it. Good. All right. course, we're just going to hook this up enough so that we can try it. Make sure that fan fires up and everything's happy. And let's see, ballast. All right, we'll put this one in. Can I leave that one in if it? Let's see, I can. All right, so I'm going to put this in. And where to go? There it is, the other one. I'm going to put these two in because I believe this will be fine. That's going to go, might as well plug that in since we're here. A little bypass tool. You can come look at my back. Put a little wedge in there, and then put it in the lamp. And let's tighten that down. There we go. Oop. All right. Oh, sounds like the rain's coming. Supposed to get some freezing rain and stuff soon. All right, so that's good. That's good. Let's kick the power on. All right, standby is good. Plugged in, looks good. Lamp is on. Fan is running. New fan sounds good. I cannot tongue tie myself. Picture looks good. Let's see, and I had some. There we go. Yeah, it looks good. Now we did have an issue with some dirt in the screen. You guys can see it's working pretty well. And I did clean the inside of the optical assembly. There's a link in the description to that video. It's a short one, but it's a good one. So feel free to check that out if you want to see a couple ways you can clean the inside of these guys. So this is on. It looks good. Fan is quiet. Still booting up, but I'm going to shut this down and then finish putting it back together so that we can test it for real. Alright, it's cooled down, so now we can put our metal shield back on. Just make sure those pieces go where they need to go, which is good. And then we will put our screws in. Now, I'm only doing these by hand because, I don't know, it's convenient. And it also kind of gives a better video because I don't have the drill in the way. And also because I'm having a good hand state today. They're not that sore today, which is good. And this one, this wire goes under here and under there, and then under there. The color wheel, oh, almost forgot our color wheel screw. Color wheel, no, not color wheel screw, shroud. Metal shroud screw that goes there. Then I can tuck the color wheel wire into it like that. There we go. All right. Then the last screw for holding all that in place is here. And that will hold the ballast wire. And that little shield that goes to the ballast. Fold that down, holds the ballast wire out of the way. Then you have to put the back on. That just kind of, you have to kind of work that into place so you can catch those clips. So it's a little bit of a I don't know, I like to kind of mush it around until it lines up. And put these in. That one. Oh, that's the lamp door. This one. And our HDMI. Oh, you guys can't see that. HDMI screw. Oops, come on, there we are. And it looks like HDMI 2 on this supports MHL, which is that video over USB from Android devices, I believe. And maybe they have it on iOS, I'm not sure, but I know on Android you can get video over USB through MHL. So I think I have that right. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Alright. Now, lastly on the back, we need to put those 5mm studs in. One. That one's being a little ornery. Let's see if I can get it started. Get started with the, yeah, got it started with that, and then I'll finish it with that. And then this one. And this one. There we are. I like it. That's all good. That's all good. And then we have the top. Let's get the lamp door out of the way. Make sure our buttons stay in place. There we are. Snap and snap and snap. Yep. Let's put that short screw in here. That holds that down. And then our lamp door, which goes there. We'll put this one in. Then we have the few that go on the bottom. Oh, forgot the little air cover. I'll take care of that. All right, now this one I am going to use the screw gun. Because I want to make sure they're at the even torque. Because this should be the final time I put the screws back in. There we are. Just check that out. Yep. Like it. Alright. Oh, let's just put that air cover back on. Dirt on it. That's this thing. That has to go back on. I almost forgot. Just like that. And then this goes back in. All right. Okay, let's put the power in and make sure she fires up with the top installed. And then I can go set it up in the test area. And then I can send it back. Looking good. Let's get my test device here. I have a Raspberry Pi. Plug it in HDMI 1. See, I got just a Raspberry Pi 3. Pick HDMI 1. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Source detect. There we go. Now the Pi should boot up. There we are. Looks good. And I am not seeing any of the dust spots that I was seeing before. I was seeing one like here and here. There we are. There's the focus for you there. There we go. And there's the desktop of the Raspberry Pi. It's nothing special, but this is how I know that the HDMI port's working. Let's go to HDMI 2. And we should have the same thing, which we do. That's good. So that means we can turn it off. And then I'm going to move this over for a long-term test. I'm going to put a couple hours on it. And as long as I can get about 6 hours out of it, everything will be good. Then I can go ahead and send it back to the customer. So I'm going to end the video here. That's really all we need to do for this one to go over it. So if you have any questions, of course, about your BenQ, stick it down in the description. And be sure to check out that other video in the description. Sorry, put your questions in the comment section and check the description section for the video on cleaning the DMD optic section. And if you need a lamp, there's also a link in there for the lamp. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. And there we go. That's all there is to repairing this BenQ HT1075. It had that chunk of glass stuck in it, which we all saw. And we got that out and then changed that fan for a new fan. I cleaned the DMD section, which if you want to see a video specifically on that, it's in the description. But if you have any questions on your projector, go ahead and stick them in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Or some of the other knowledgeable people who follow the channel can post on there too and answer your question. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching. And we're back. So I think that I missed something, or maybe this is my fault. I'm not quite sure. But I went to test it, and I wasn't getting very good airflow here, which is unusual. Then I noticed that I could see this side of the fan through the vent. Not supposed to see that side of the fan. I'm supposed to see that side of the fan. Airflow direction was pointing this way. Don't think I have to go back and look at the video when I edit it. I'll see if I pulled this out and put it back in wrong, which is definitely possible, but again, that's why I check everything. It's supposed to go this way, and then that wire tucks in there. There we go. That way the air is taken from the lamp and forced out. So I guess I jinxed myself when I said the top was never coming off again. It was, because I had to flip the fan around. So we'll see if this is the last time the top is going on. I hope it is, but I won't know until I test it. Because if I say this is the last time, then there'll be something else. But I did kind of do a general once-over before I went and recorded this. And again, I just snugged that screw down the way it should be. Let's put our lamp door back on. What I should have done that I didn't do is I should have used my thermal camera to show the heat not coming out, so that I can compare to the heat coming out. If I remember, I'll see if I can shoot some video of the outside of this so that you can see the heat coming out. There we go. All right, now I'm going to set this back up for testing. And here's the picture using a Raspberry Pi as a source. There's the mouse moving around. But this looks great. I'm very happy. Fan's much quieter. It's running very well. So, yeah. If you have questions about your BenQ DLP projector or any DLP projector, put it down in the comments there. And as always, thank you for watching.